As a child, I grew up in a Christian home, or my mother was a Christian. She prayed for us right through from when I was a little baby. She took us to church. I was probably a pain in the neck. I climbed up on the communion table one day while Arthur Ritchie was preaching, and just poked fun at everybody. But as life went on, I became the school bully. I was a big boy. I stood 6 foot tall, weighed about 15.5 stone, and I was 11 years of age. And then I gradually got more and more the bully, and I wasn't liked as a result. Finally, the kids that I was picking on decided to get me, and they took me and threw me over a small cliff. I didn't get badly hurt, but this really scared me. It brought me to the point where I cried out to the Lord and said, Lord, if what I've been hearing at church or at Sunday school is really true, I want you to save me, because I'm scared stiff. And that's where it all started. After accepting Christ, things did change dramatically. All of a sudden, my attitude towards others changed, and I, rather than being the school bully, started to become a softer person. I started to concentrate on my studies, whereas up until then I hadn't been very interested in school. And after a few months, I read a book called Through Gates of Splendour, the story of 2 mission pilots who were in the Amazon. And the Lord challenged me to press towards becoming a mission pilot. And so I really put effort into schoolwork. I approached my father to ask whether he would help me learn to fly, and he agreed to do that. And so I started, and by the age 16, on my 16th birthday, I went solo as a pilot. And that was the beginning of me pressing towards a career or a future as a mission pilot. I left school after a little bit later, went on and trained did my aircraft engineering and went to Bible school. At the end of Bible college, Stuart Dinnan was the principal. He took me aside and he said, Greg, I think because there'd been a slight change in those last few months in college, I felt the Lord was pushing me towards mission work in France. And it was a big change for me, but Stuart Dinnan said to me, Greg, there's 2 things you need to do. One is to get some speech therapy, and the other thing is to get some pastoral experience. And so after leaving Bible college, I got the Baptist Union of Victoria employed me to be a pastor at Daylesford Hepburn Springs in Victoria. That was my first church. I was only a young guy. I was only about 21 and a half when I took on that first church. I continued to work as a pastor there for 3 years, but the interesting thing was when I went to Daylesford, they couldn't afford to pay me. I was what they called a tent maker pastor, and I had to get a job. And I applied for the first job that was in the newspaper, and that was a remedial English teacher at the local high school. And I was employed to set up remedial education for high schools in Victoria. That was my first job So I worked. And so here was I, the one who was going to be needing speech therapy and getting pastoral experience. I had the job which enabled me to get the speech therapy or the speech training. I had to do it for myself, and the pastoral experience. I guess over the years I've discovered that I've found that my gift is probably one-on-one with counselling, and I enjoyed, that was part of the pastoral work, working with the older folk and other folk, just being a counsellor there. And then in the various roles I've had over the years, it's been one-on-one, and I still enjoy just getting alongside older folk who are going through difficult situations, but other people who have got issues, and working as a counsellor. I really enjoy the family atmosphere in the church, just the fact that we are a smaller fellowship to a degree, but we're able to support each other and be there for each other. And I enjoy the teaching, but I enjoy just the times that we have with the Lord in the smaller groups that we have there. It's very necessary. I guess as I get to this end of my life now, I'm very aware that the Lord takes us on a journey. Heaven's the ultimate goal, I guess, but He's preparing us all the way through for that day when we spend time with Him. And there's been all sorts of ups, downs, and things that have occurred, but every one of them are there to shape us, mould us, prepare us. And He's always been faithful, He's always been there, and He's always blessed. And that's exciting, and I look forward to the time when I meet Him.